Leo Regzio.
We always keep moving, don't want to stop moving. Adventure is our middle name, that's how we play this little game of how much trouble we can find. How much trouble we can find. How much trouble we can find. How much trouble we can find.
The Adventures of Leo Regzio, Chapter 1.
Hi, I'm Leslie.
Leslie is a poor and pretty 12-year-old country girl with emerald eyes, black hair, and a great big beautiful smile. She gets her smile from her happy life at home in a small run-down farmhouse. Her home is by a lake near a big forest where she lives with her mother and 2 dogs, Punky and Katanga. Most of the time, Leslie tries very hard to be good, except for one small drawback. She was starting to realize what her mother means by,
"You can't have your way."
This had been circling around in her mind ever since the little episode that happened this morning. Leslie had a dream that seemed so real she didn't want to be awake. In her dream she met a handsome brown stallion in the forest that let her ride him anywhere she wanted. She laid in bed half asleep, listening to her mother about in the kitchen and forcing her to get up and ask her mom for a horse. Leslie's mother, Elizabeth, is as pretty as Leslie, with her bright red hair and hazel eyes that gleamed at Leslie.
"Good morning, Les."
Her mother greeted her daughter by her nickname and with a smile.
Good morning, Mom.
Leslie's reply was almost the same.
"Would you like your eggs fried or boiled?"
Boiled, Mom. Can I have a horse?
Her mother stopped what she was doing, looked surprised and hesitated. Les wanted an answer that would be,
Yes.
and she wanted to hear it now.
Well, Mom, can I?
Les spoke up.
"First of all, we can't afford to buy a horse. Secondly, we have just enough to feed ourselves, let alone some big animal."
Elizabeth laid down the law. Les was hurt by this answer, so she thought very hard how to buy and feed a large animal. Les tried to manipulate her mother.
Oh, Ma, please.
"Don't ma me. I'm telling you, it needs a house of its own. How can we give it that?"
Leslie's mind was furiously searching for the perfect solution, and she thought of it.
We can adopt it. I'll get a job and I can build his house of old trees and wood.
"I said no."
Leslie's mother was loud and final. Les could do no more but cry. Leaving her breakfast untouched, she ran out the door into a warm late summer morning and down the dusty dirt road into the big evergreen forest. Punky and Katanga yelped and howled as they watched Les run away. Les cried as she ran toward a tiny bridge that crossed over a brook. She thought to herself,
How different this place looked from the last time I was here.
hurt and angry. Les ran across the bridge, still crying. She ran up a steep, rocky hill covered with leaves and brush, to the top, then down the other side into a quiet green dell. Les was at the peak of her anger and pain as she stopped and sat down on a huge boulder. Punky and Katanga broke the silence with their barking when they saw Les from the top of the hill. Leslie's eyes were blurred, and through her tears she saw everything in the dell in a different way. The dogs ran down to meet her, but she cried and screamed for them to go home.
Go home. Go home.
They both looked at Les for a moment and whined. Then they ran away as if they knew she wanted to be alone. Suddenly hundreds, maybe 1,000 butterflies flooded into view. Les wiped the tears from her eyes to get a better look at the beautiful work of nature taking place. Only some of the excitement was leaking into Leslie's feelings of mixed emotions. These feelings are getting in the way of enjoying another one of life's wonderful experiences. The earth started to shake like a small earthquake because of a door opening. The sound touched the silence of this magical moment like a wave crashing on an ocean shore. Les had to rise to the occasion to see what was happening. She could see at the edge of the slope on the hill a dark opening. She gazed in awe and couldn't believe her ears when she heard the bellowing whinny of a horse. A gleaming dark brown stallion ran out of the cave into the sunshine, where red highlights glistened and shimmered from his furry coat. He then ran at Les as she froze at her position, perking up her eyes, ears, and mind, while the horse galloped toward her, talking in a loud, calm, poetic voice.
What a surprise, flutterbies! A young joke junted with tears in her eyes. What's the matter, little child?
The strange horse stood in Leslie's face, soothing her into a comfortable conversation with his charm.
Nothing's the matter. What's your name?
Les avoided her hot spot and asked.
I'm Leo,
The horse proclaimed, with his grinning horse laugh.
Leo Rexio, he proudly adds. As soon as the words left his horse lips, the earth trembled as the door shut with a thunderous slam. All but one of the flutterbies disappeared. It hit Les in the stomach and fell to the ground. It seemed as if it were thrown to come back like a boomerang. Les picked it up and threw it. It returned to her like she thought it would. Looking at the flutterby carefully this time, Les noticed a horse across its wings.